Good morning. Happy Monday. Mondays and coffee just go really well together, don't they? They go really well together. Hope you had a great weekend. Mine just kind of, in some ways it seemed like it was really stretched out. In other ways it feels like it flew past. You ever have that happen? Of course, on Saturday I had the last part of my Karuna Reiki practitioner training, and I just feel so good about that. I feel so good about that, and I just seriously, the last 30 days have brought about a huge inner transformation for me, and it's continuing. It's continuing to build and transform. And I'm just so grateful. I put a post last night, let me move this a little bit closer, on my personal Facebook page about getting my Karuna Reiki certification. And, you know, I thanked a lot of people that have helped me come to this point. For some of you that don't know, I spent 36 years in the real estate business, and the last 20 of those years were spent with Bill Ryan, still are being spent with Bill Ryan and his team at Remax, and I still work for them part-time doing some marketing and stuff, and hope to continue that for a long time because I love doing it and I love staying engaged in the real estate business, even though this is now my primary business, my Reiki and my hypnotherapy. I still love being engaged in that. Hi, Shelly. Speaking of real estate, there's my bestie, Shelly. And so anyway, but there's so many people that have been a part of my journey and my path to where I am today, and I am just so grateful. I have such a full heart today, right now, just reflecting in where I've been, where I am, where I'm going. And so, you know, all of you who are part of my life, you have all been a part of that journey, and I just want to say truly thank you. There's just not enough words to express gratitude, and you know, gratitude is a feeling, and it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling. Gratitude can bring us so much peace. So much peace. One thing I work with a lot in Reiki is helping people with anxiety and fears. You know, a lot of people tend to think that hypnotherapy is the better answer for working on some of these things, but there are so many tools, and I love the fact that I do both. I do both hypnotherapy and Reiki. But Reiki can bring so much peace into the mind. Hi, Mindy. Reiki can bring so much peace into the body and buffer that. So anyone who is stressed, who experiences anxiety, who experiences panic attacks, who has old stuck fear. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that old stuck stuff this morning in our Book of Awakening. And, you know, Reiki just helps us release that. Release it not just on a physical level, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so I'm just so grateful. I just love so much what I do, and I'm so grateful for the education I've received over the past few years, intensely over the last few years. You know, I've taken lots and lots of classes, and I will continue to take lots and lots of classes, just because I love it. It's my happy spot. So anyway, that being said, It seems like there was something else I was going to mention. Today's day 7 of my 28-day cleanse. This is part of the Medical Medium. If you haven't read that book, oh my gosh, it's amazing. The premise basically is that the Epstein-Barr virus is present in so many of us. If you've ever had mononucleosis, that is stage 2, Epstein-Barr. And it progresses and it hides in our body, and it actually feeds on stress. And that's why as we age and we have stressful situations, we go through grief, we go through relationship changes, and those stress hormones are released, our bodies that Epstein virus just eats up on it. And it causes illness because our bodies are trying so hard to protect itself against this. And it's really fascinating work, his work is. And so for the last 7 days, today's day 7 actually, I've been doing a raw vegan diet. No corn, no gluten, no animal products or dairy, and minus a couple other things, but that's the main part of it. And just eating raw for the most part. And I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling some of that inflammation that my body is absolutely flooded with, starting to release. And that inflammation comes from the Epstein-Barr virus. It's like protecting, the inflammation is protecting our other organs and stuff from the Epstein-Barr virus. And it, the EBV manifests into so many different things. All these mysterious illnesses like Hashimoto's, Lyme disease, fibromyalgia, MS, Graves, oh my gosh, there's so many. Rheumatoid arthritis, who would have thunk? They all stem from this. And so his stuff is really amazing. And it was like one of those things that just totally resonated with me, because after all of the spiritual, the mental, the emotional work that I've done, I left the physical part for last because I didn't want to deal with it. And, my intuition was telling me, you have to do this now. It's no longer an option, something to think about doing later. This has to happen now because you're going to get sick. And, my body was feeling terrible. And, when your body feels terrible, you don't feel very good about yourself. It really affects your self-confidence, and it affects your life. So anyway, if you've ever had mononucleosis, I would say check out this book for sure. Too many chemicals and GMOs in foods. Yes, very, very true, Shelley. And metals in our bodies. And he gives you all of the nutrients that you need to remove the toxins from your bodies. I was having a discussion with Corey at the office the other day about mercury. Did you know that mercury stays in our bodies for generations? It can be it passes down for 1,000 years. And in the late 1800s, the last half of the 1800s and the early 1900s, mercury was the miracle drug. Doctors used it for everything, for treating everything. They gave us mercury. And it was used in all kinds of things. It was used in making felt. And this article or this actually is part of this book in the Medical Medium, that like in making hats, the people who worked in the factories making hats lived for 3 to 5 years after starting that job. Ooh, what's wrong with this environment, right? And so, they say don't ever try on antique hats. The mercury lives on, like in those felt parts, and your skin absorbs it. crazy stuff. And so I'm learning so much through this book. And I actually had read bits and pieces of it a couple years ago when it came out. And I started rereading it again, and then I downloaded it onto my Audible. And so I like having both because I like to listen to books like when I'm getting ready in the morning or when I'm driving in my car. Any downtime that I have, I love to put a book on in the background and listen to it. I listen to them when I go to bed at night. Usually fall asleep to it. I put it on a timer so I don't miss the whole book. But you know, it's really amazing stuff, and our awareness of it is the first part of our healing. So once we become aware of these things and we set our intentions to change things, things start to change. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that. Today's chapter is called Holding in the Belly. And I thought, some of these names of chapters, I'm like, what in the hell is this going to be about? The inward battle against our mind, our wounds, and the residues of the past is more terrible than outward battle. That's by Swami Sivananda. Sivananda, maybe. This is a strange little story, I'll warn you. I saw a sea otter rolling in the bay. It held a crab or small turtle against its belly. On its back, it would eat a piece and then press the crab or turtle to its belly and turn over and swim somewhere. This stayed with me for days until I realized that I have been living like this otter, holding the uneaten part of my shell to my belly as I roll through the deep, and of course it is impossible to swim freely while holding dead-shelled things so tightly. Indeed, trying to move on and eat the past at the same time is the cause of many ulcers. Realizing this made me stop and face the sadness of old wounds that I was holding tightly in my belly. It made me understand, yet again, that while we try to integrate inner and outer experience, while we aspire to such a oneness, the work is often one at a time, facing ourselves without going anywhere, not nibbling at the ailing soul on the run. So how many times do you do this? Do I do this? I know I do it. It's like, okay, I know that's there, but I'll deal with it later, or I think I'm dealing with it as I'm going about my doingness, and it's like nibbling away at it while binding yourself down so that you can't move freely through life, through your experiences, through your new stuff that you need to bring into your life. So it's a really interesting thought, I think. We have a little exercise to do here too. So if you are someplace where you can close your eyes for a moment, I would encourage you to do that. I think having the eyes closed and just stopping and breathing for a moment helps us to integrate stuff better. If you're driving or doing something else, of course, please don't do that. Just listen, and then you can try it at a later time if you'd like to. So just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and release it with an audible sigh. Let's do another breath. Breathing is so important to us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And yet we pay very little attention to it. So sometimes just taking that moment or two to experience that is the best. So still yourself and see if there is a strain between your being and your doing. A strain from tending something in your life while on the move. If so, stop and face what is in your belly. Make what you need to tend where you are going. What have you not tended to? Go to that place now. And breathe deeply and let your inner and outer attention go in the same direction. It has such a beautiful balancing effect, doesn't it? Just integrate the inner and the outer and move in the same direction. Releasing the old stuff that's been stuck in our bellies that we've been carrying. Spend some time on this today if you can, or tonight before you go to sleep. And just look at that part of you. And you can always ask God, you can ask Jesus, you can ask the angels, you can ask Mother Mary or Kuan Yin, any Ascended Master, any being of the light, to come and help you to release that if you feel like it's really stuck. Ask them to help you release that. Stop carrying it around. You can't swim well with it, right? Very interesting lesson today. Every one of these is like that. That's why I like it, I think. Kind of different, but thought-provoking. So, if you need help unsticking all of that, please come see me. Please come see me. I would love to help you experience Reiki. It's my heart's passion, right? I think I got that point across. So you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for being here. And I will see you tomorrow morning on Tuesday. And our topic is, let's see what clever little name we have. Teachers are everywhere. Ooh, I love that. Because I love and honor my teachers. I've had so many in my life. And I'm so grateful to all of them. So, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace and blessings. Have a great day. I love you. Bye.